nuclear capability. We had bombs and we had explosives. Nobody even knew it worked. And I don't like talking about it, but we have somebody that talks about it all the time, Putin. And we have nobody that understands what's happening. It's a very sad situation. We've never been in this position before.
All right, these clips are kind of bringing me down. All right, I saw the speech. It was like a last minute. All right, there's some good stuff there. When he said,
I'm gonna put the link.
we had a great program. It was called Stay in Mexico. All right? Stay in Mexico.
Here's the link.
Yeah, I know people hate this, but he cursed a little bit. What did he say? S-H-I rhymes with P, but it's not a P.
Link
okay?
to Lambo.
This guy said some crazy shit about me. I said shit, like I said it. Don't worry, anybody.
Click on link.
There's J.D. Vance. He knows that J.D. Vance did say some stuff. Hey, you know something else, actually. He mentioned the firefighter. You know, we have here a missing member of the Texas National Guard. He jumped into the Rio Grande to save a...
Thank you sticking around with Aya Black. We changed to Lambo NYC. Click on link. I want to see 48 people coming to Lambo. Welcome back, TBS #1.
Texas Army National Guard Specialist Bishop T. Evans from Arlington, Texas.
On to the next one.
boy. Joe Biden, and there's a new book out about Jill. Jill Biden, Portrait of a First Lady. It's written by an Associated Press reporter, and it's a very flattering biography. And they skip over the rather thorny way Joe and Jill met each other. It's good. Everybody lives life in habit or whatever. It's you know, we all have scars. We all have track record. We all have things that we're proud of.
יש לך פח כזה אלקטרוני ששמים את היד בפתח?
כן.
שמים פה פח כזה במוביל ב$2, חדש.
כן.
קטן אבל.
כן.
אתה רוצה נביא לך?
אבל הוא עובד בכלל?
אני חושב שאתה תטעין אותו. זה בחשמל.
יש לו את ה...
יש לו כפתור מאחורה ויש לו כזה עינית מלמעלה, כמו אצלך.
כן.
ניינסטאק, שמעתי לך טקסט מסר.
כן, אני אבדוק אחרון, כן.
חדש, יש לך.
כן, טוב לאמבטיה, למקלחת.
כן, נביא לך אותו, נשים אצלי בסטורג'.
כן.
בסדר,
אבל השאלה אם הוא עובד או לא.
איך אתה מטעין אותו? צריך לחבר לחשמל?
לא, יש אפשרות גם סוללות. תרים את המכסה, תראה אם יש סוללות מבפנים, יש אפשרות לסוללות. תרים את המכסה, תראה אם יש אפשר לשים סוללות. וגם תראה אם יש מתקן לחשמל.
כן, מלמטה נראה אפשר לשים סוללות מלמטה.
מתחת לזה?
כן.
מתחת לפח או מתחת למכסה?
מתחת לפח. איזה עובר על סוללות בהם.
מצב טוב.
כן, נראה חדש.
אבל יש לו את החוט של החשמל גם?
של החשמל?
כן, או שזה נבעד.
לא, אני לא חיבור לחשמל.
ה-AC אדפטר, יש לו את ה-AC אדפטר? ה-AC אדפטר.
לא חיבור לחשמל, לא חיבור לחשמל.
אז יש חיבור לסוללות?
כן. אתה מטעין אותם, לא תלבס כסף.
מה אתה אומר? מה השאלה שלך?
יש לך סוללות מתענות?
לא, זה סוללות רגילות, זה טוב לשנה, זה כמה חודשים לשנה. זה לא נגמר.
להביא לך לשים בסטורג'.
שים בסטורג', נתאם, שנפגוש שם אני.
כן, אני בגוד בגלל בסטורג'.
כן. הוא החזיר את כל הזבל שלו.
כן, ראית?
כן. זה קטעים. אבל הם שמו שלט על הקיר שיזרקו את הזבל עוד מעט.
מה?
שמו שלט על הקיר שילכו לזרוק את הזבל עוד מעט.
כן. תשמע איזה קטע, איזה עסק, מה אני רוצה לפתוח עכשיו?
כן.
אתה שומע?
כן.
רוצה לפתוח עסק של, איך קוראים לו? למכור צמחים. אז הוא אומר לי, מה, אני הלכתי לקנות עץ, אותו על עץ קטן, $500. אני עכשיו הולך קונה לי שטח אדמה, מגדל צמחים, ואיך קוראים לו? ומוכר אותם. מגדל עצים, צמחים, מוכר אותם. הוא חושב שזה כל כך פשוט לגדל צמחים. הוא לא יודע כמה צריך ללמוד, צריך כבר באוניברסיטה, אני אומר לו, אתה צריך ללמוד אגרונומיה, להיות אגרונום. איזה עצבים הוא תפס מהמילה הזאת, וואי, אגרונום! זה בשכונת התקווה למד מילה, אגרונום. איך באמת את המילה הזאת? אני אומר לו, אתה יודע מה זה אגרונום? זה אחד שמבין מסמכים חקלאי כזה. לא, אכפת לי גאווה. לא. איזה פה פסנתר. איזה כפה.
כן, צריך לדעת מתי לשים מים, מתי לא לשים מים, או לשים יותר מדי או פחות מדי.
אתה יודע איזה דבר מסובך זה חקלאות. וואו וואו.
כן. כן, תעשה תמונה נראה. תשמע? לא, אנחנו לא רוצים דברים כאלה, אין לנו מקום בבית. מנענו דברים כאלה. אני גם כל הבלונים האלה, שמנו אותם על התקרה כי אין מקום בבית. טוב שיש להם חמצן לשים על התקרה. the next one, on to the next one. Yeah, the Dr. Andrew something, his receptionist, Kathy, I tried to, talk to her about surgery, so she did not come back to me. I sent her email, but she never come back to me. Oh, July 29, 63. Aliyah. Aliyah, H-A-L-E-A-H. We have A-B in here. Gasolina, benzina. you. I basically tell I wanna know where for the hair. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Okay, let's go. Let's grow. Let's grow. Let's grow. That's what they say.
Nothing like it's really in Florida. And still have family there, and this is just the worst news. So another hero. Did you know that
We're all
over
set.
1,100
Drive safely.
firefighters have died
Turn
in
right on
line of duty since the
150th
formation of the
Avenue.
Fire department. It's going to be what, 150 years probably. But man, can you believe we lost the 300 firefighter comes. Yeah, very, very sorry. A hero. And there's
In
another
500
hero.
feet, use the left lane to turn left on North Boundary Road.
River to rescue a migrant woman who was drowning. Hello? Hey, women can do this as well. And she may have been a drug smuggler, right? There's indications that at least folks in the tribe that
Turn left on North Boundary Road.
Bishop E. Evans went missing Friday morning after he jumped into the river near Eagle Pass, Texas.
In half a mile, turn right on North Hager Road.
to make president. And one of them is to protect our country from invasion. Protect the borders. It's in there. I mean, this guy is in flagrant
You've arrived at your destination.
violation of his oath of office. Isn't that amazing? A 22-year-old from Texas doing his job and losing his life. Joe Biden not doing his job and being the president of the United States. That, ladies and gentlemen, is not right. It's not right. Just like President Trump would say, as he did the other night, that's not right. Did we find the part about freaking Mexico? He told everybody to stay in freaking Mexico. Then he heard from President Trump. He was in Delaware, Ohio.
Yeah. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Welcome. Juan here. Howard Beach. They made you pick a package from here,
Yeah,
all the way here.
yeah, all the way here.
They should have a branch in your area.
Yeah, this came from Manhattan.
Oh wow. So let's go to Manhattan. You don't want to go back to Manhattan?
Yeah, they're in Brooklyn now.
Or you gonna go
Turn
take
left
to the
on North
train?
Hangar Road.
Train that go to Manhattan.
Brooklyn, then Manhattan.
In 600 feet, use the left 2 lanes to turn left on New York 878 Nassau Expressway West.
It's probably like a costume something.
All the economy. Right. We're starting to get up to the 50s here this afternoon with that cloud cover in place. But it does stay cloudy through tonight. That may even lead away down to 52. The cloud cover still in place for tomorrow as well. So increased chance for some wet weather. A few showers moving through, high 64. And we're locked into a cool weather pattern for Wednesday and Thursday. Even though more in the way of sunshine returns, temperatures still well below average as we begin to round out April here. High 57 on Wednesday, Thursday high 55. Currently 58 and cloudy, humidity 39%. Winds east at 9 miles per hour. The current temperature is 58, heading up to 60 in Midtown. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Kai Erickson on New York's weather station 1010 Wind. So Wind family, you know how we keep everything at our
Use the
cell
left
phone,
2
right?
lanes
We
to
got
turn
our
left
ready
on New
wallet,
York
we got
878
our
Nassau
credit
Expressway
card,
West.
they call them, you know, electronic wallet, our contact information. So if you lose your cell phone, you do anything to get it back, right? Oh, you will never get in a million trillion years for the lady and walk.
In 3/4 of a mile, keep left to New York 27 West, Bell Parkway West, Kennedy Airport, North Conduit Avenue.
in a lawsuit against the Kingston, Massachusetts Country Club. Their $750,000 home right along the golf course's 15th hole, bought in 2017, was continually pummeled by golf balls. They ended up in the kiddie pool and smashed windows, so many that the family stopped replacing them with glass. The Boston Globe says they even considered putting up a net but couldn't get one high enough. Saying it will appeal, the Indian Pond Club wants a higher court to take a swing at it. Jason reporting for us. And I told you, I warned you, please, I hope you finish your lunch from the golf course, from the golf house to the outhouse. They had to rescue a lady from a toilet, which was full of you-know-what, after she fell in head first, trying to retrieve a cell phone. Yeah, this is in a small town near Seattle. The fire chief says the lady was visiting Mount Walker in the Olympic National Forest northwest of the city. She's been using her phone and the thing fell into the toilet, which is actually an outhouse, a standalone structure that's about, 6 to 7 feet deep. It's what people used to use before modern plumbing was introduced. So they say she actually disassembled the toilet seat and tried to use a dog leash to get her phone, ended up falling in head first. Been in a porta potty, you know how these things work, right? Been there all day, you get it. Well, she got the phone, but once she stood upright, she called 911 for help. Cops say she was washed down really good and told to go to the hospital to get checked out. I mean, she's been sitting in human waste here. She refused, probably embarrassed, didn't want to go to the hospital with that. Isn't that just bizarre? The things we do to get our cell phones back. West News Time, 218.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Cityside Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with ED? Well, I have great news. We can now effectively treat ED without any pills or side effects. Cityside Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy, clinically proven to open up and regrow blood vessels. Our technology has been shown to be highly effective by Cambridge University. If you're struggling with ED and sick of the pills, call us now on the phone of the assessment on blood vessels down to free and also use Dr.
Red light camera ahead.
Eastbound Sailor 80, 78 west of Bedminster. After exit. Here's what you need to know about bridges and tunnels. City down George good enough to the upper lower get the exit to the west side. Only that tunnel, no more than a few either way. For example, the bridge.
In 1,000 feet, turn left on Mohanty Street. Turn left on Mohanty Street. In 500 feet, turn left on 155th Avenue. Then turn right. Turn left on 155th Avenue. Then turn right on 101st Street. Turn right on 101st Street. In 900 feet, turn left on 158th Avenue.
I see there's no cleaning regulation here.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So you can leave your car, go travel for a month and come back. You don't have to pay for parking.
I know.
And it's not too far from JFK.
Turn left on
That's the good
158th
part about
Avenue.
here.
I'm gonna save this address.
Yeah, you should.
'Cause if you park for a month, could be like $500 or $500.
I know.
In 900 feet,
Not too
you'll
many
arrive.
people know about this option.
No, right?
It's like a secret. Sometimes I park in the Bronx. Also in the Bronx, they have
Oh, yeah?
there's Hollywood Avenue. There's the whole area. It's no
I didn't
cleaning.
know that.
Bronx is good for LaGuardia.
Yeah.
It's close to LaGuardia. Even here. So there's a train out here that go to the city. There's also air train come to here, no?
Yeah, that was actually.
The air train come to here too.
I think they ate too.
They ain't. Well, good luck. You have a good
You've
day.
arrived at your destination.
Hopefully I get a ride to the city.
It is.
Here is good.
Yeah, it's
Take care. Take coffee to go.
good. Yeah. Good up through here.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Have a nice day.
Good luck. Take care.
betting 61 points, S&P 500 still down 12. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26.56 past every hour. I'm Andrew Odin. 10-10 win wins the stock to 27. The 10-10 win $10,000 small business challenge is back. We've given away $160,000. And the next 10,000 could
אני ב-JFK.
register is now. Visit
JFK, בדרך למנית.
from the station that champions small businesses. 10-10 wins. The last 2 years have been very challenging times for small business owners. 10-10 wins and Dime Community Bank, New York's premier bank for business, want to give you a helping hand to relaunch, build, or expand. Hi, I'm Rob West, and these things like $10,000 may help you do just that. Visit 1010wins.com/challenge for details.
יפ, 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 יפ.
Have a chance to win $10,000. That's 1010wins.com/challenge. Views expressed in the following commercial message are solely those of the advertiser. My family rents out our downtown. Without it, we can't afford it. And then, COVID.
Let's get started. Drive safely.
Which means we can't afford to pay our bills. And as politicians in Albany pass what they call good cause eviction, we're done. No way we can afford to wait months or even years to collect rent we're owed. We need to tell them enough is enough. Paid for by HFAANY.com. The IRS finally caught up with Louie. I've had my taxes in 8 years. IRS a lot of money. Louie was in deep trouble. I'm gonna take that money. Put it in your bank account. It'll take your bank account. Found out about Western Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau.
Turn right on 102nd Street.
No cleaning regulation.
They make me feel comfortable and I trust them. Louie has a lot to be thankful for. IRS is for and they will live a comfortable life. But better life just because of hospital tax. Now for a free consultation. Check it.
No cleaning regulation.
Everyone knows that major volume testifiers are unsafe. What they don't know is that they're also packed with 16 grams of whole grain, ready to help you get out there. Major Valley for every adventure.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right on Cohansey Street.
Like a lot of smoke at first, as if the engine was having problems or something like that.
But then between
The gentleman, he just walked into the car, into the fire. I don't know if he was going through anything, but I tried to stop him. I was yelling for him and everything.
By the time the fire department
Turn
arrived
right on
around
Cohansey
5:30,
Street.
it was too late. The body burned so badly they couldn't immediately ID the sex of the victim. Sources say it appears the fire was electrical, but the rest all under
In
investigation.
500 feet,
Samantha
turn
Lisa
left on
says
North
this
Conduit
is
Avenue.
also the problem.
Then exit right.
Wednesday, 5:31, time for traffic and transit with Greg Rice.
Well, good afternoon, Lori. It has been a rough early afternoon on the lower east
Turn
side of
left
town.
on North Conduit Avenue. Then exit right to Cross Bay Boulevard.
The FDR drive was subject to closure here in Dowson Street. We are scanning the jam cams to try to find out why. So this is a no-go. Again, this is the FDR. Either way, you're East Dowson, north at FDR. There's also the crash on the
and 1010 wins. I'm attorney Rich Barnes. If you've been in a car crash, choosing the right firm is crucial to get the help you need and the best result possible. Manhattan, Long Island.
Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Here is meteorologist Carl Erickson.
Well, good afternoon, Lori. We have
Anna.
a easterly flow off the chilly Atlantic
Turn left
Ocean.
on
Look at
Cross
those
Bay
low
Boulevard.
clouds over the city right now. Have to head out across Long Island before you start to see some sunshine break through. Looks like those clouds stay tough with us throughout the day today with a high near 60. Then remaining mostly cloudy tonight, right through tomorrow. We'll dry through most of tonight. It may be a shower, some drizzle begins to develop towards
Shower.
50 for a low. And a couple of showers moving through tomorrow. Shouldn't be anything too heavy with a high of 62 and breezy, even cooler on Wednesday, even though there'll be more in the way of sunshine breaking through, a high 57, and mostly sunny on Thursday. Still a cool breeze, no big warm-ups anytime soon as we're stuck in the 50s. High Thursday 55. Currently it's 58 and cloudy, humidity 39%, winds east at 9 miles per hour. Repeating the current temperature 58, going up to 60 in Midtown.
Shelly.
And weather meteorologist
I do love Shelly.
Like
We
camera
love it.
ahead.
10-10 wins. Jackpot will let you play official state lottery games on your phone. $400 million. Use code radio for a free ticket. Must be 18 or older to play. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem or want help, call 1-877-HOPE-NY. Please visit jackpocket.com/COS for more terms and services.
Johnny Depp warned
In a
of a
quarter of a mile,
bloodbath in his argument with
arrive.
ex-wife Amber Heard as reported. This is one of the clips they played. Depp winced as that clip was played. Other reporting had him shouting vulgarities at Heard. Depp is suing Amber Heard over a Washington Post op-ed she wrote that talked about domestic abuse. She did not name him, but Depp says that piece defamed him and harmed his career. Heard's attorneys are trying to portray that it was Depp's own behavior that harmed his career. Amber Heard is expected to testify. Wins Nissan 234. Jury commencement got underway today in the trial of an NYPD veteran who's facing federal charges for
Speed
the
camera
January
reported
6th
ahead.
attack on the U.S. Capitol. Thomas Webster claims he was acting in self-defense when he tackled a police officer who was trying to protect the Capitol from the mob of Trump supporters. During his bond hearing, the judge, though, dismissed that claim, telling Webster, "You were a police officer, and you should have known better." Wins Nissan 235. A new poll is in on the newest member of the U.S. Supreme Court, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. Overall, 48%
In 300
of
feet,
Americans say
make
they
a U-turn.
approve, 19% disapprove of the first black female
Yeah.
justice.
Yeah, Anthony. Welcome, welcome. Welcome.
Research poll.
Let's go.
The remaining 32% of Americans have no opinion when it comes to party lines. 80% of Democrats, but only 18%
Make a
of
U-turn on
Republicans
Cross Bay
approve,
Boulevard.
suggesting the confirmation did more to energize President Biden's Democratic base than it did to energize Republicans in opposition. I'm Julie Walker. A televised plane stunt gone wrong is now under investigation by the FAA. Skydived into each other's aircraft, ended with one of those planes crashing. Both pilots experienced skydivers reach the ground safely. The FAA says it denied a request on Friday from organizers to get an exemption from regulations that cover the safe operation of aircraft. And here how that decision impacted yesterday's event. 58 degrees now, cloudy. We are going down to 50.
Red light camera ahead. hazard reported ahead. 1 miles. Turn right on Union Turnpike.
Fisher Investment. Clearly different money management. Entertainment.
Red light camera ahead.
Super Bowl halftime show ball signed by the performers at this year's event is hitting the auction block. The football features the names of Dr. Dre and Nasir King Wells. The only missing piece of $2.50 vintage heritage auctions begin May 12th with a set-aside value of at least $1,500. They expect it to go for much more. Lizzo hitting the road and she's coming our way. Lizzo will play Madison Square Garden October 2nd as part of her all North American tour in support of her new album, Special, which drops July 15th. Big Swagger is giving a shout out to the consideration.
Speed camera reported ahead.
Swagger is a fan of Jay Rangoli and Youngblood, so she likes to host still a bit of life in rock and roll. With news on 2:39.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job with some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you, it finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. It's a needle in the haystack.
Meanwhile, 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
The station you know, the people you trust.
Thinking about 22 minutes. Making you the world.
Good afternoon, 58 degrees at 2:40. I'm Lori Netton, and here's what's happening. A bunting ceremony is held at engine 257, ladder 170, after the death of New York City firefighter Timothy Klein. A civilian was also found dead after a ceiling collapsed in Canarsie yesterday. Live report in just a moment from our Roger Stern. The MTA Inspector General is investigating the failure of cameras at the Sunset Park subway station during the mass shooting. The New York City Council is proposing a holistic approach to addressing crime. It outlines its budget priorities. Clinton Wind reporter Julia Hopper with that story coming up. A New York judge holds former President Donald Trump in contempt of court and fined him $10,000 a day. Last call for lunch with Warren Buffett. The Berkshire Hathaway CEO is wrapping up his charity one-on-one after this year's meal. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 34 points this hour. 10-10 with AccuWeather does cloudy tonight, low 50. Cloudy and damp tomorrow with some drizzle and a passing shower, high 62. Wind based on 241. Time for traffic and transit with Greg Rice.
Now, Lori's still a mess on the east side of town. FDR Drive all jammed up by the way to East Houston Street, south from the Midtown Tunnel, northbound from the Brooklyn Bridge. You've also got southbound company over to 71st, so continue to stick with the West Side Highway. That long-term work got a little more intense recently over at the Throgs Neck Bridge. You got a lane down either way all the time right now, so you got a better ride pretty much always over at the Whitestone Bridge. Between the Throgs Neck and Whitestone, northbound Cross Island slammed right now, getting up towards East 149th Street, reportedly with a crash. Here's what you need to know about bridges and tunnels. Citybound George behavior, west side by far the best ride.
Red light camera ahead.
Lincoln and Holland, no more than a few minutes in or out of the city. Brooklyn Bridge isn't awful because, again, everybody is stuck on the southbound FDR Drive and route. Eastbound belt, though, starting to bunch up through Queens from the Van Wyck over to Francis Lewis Boulevard. Van Wyck jammed up either way into Hillside Avenue. Traffic and transit every 10 minutes on the ones. I'm Greg Rice on 1010 Winds.
Flags in New York City have been flying at half-staff today, a day after firefighter Timothy Klein was killed in a ceiling collapse while battling a blaze in Canarsie. 1010 Winds reporter Roger Stern is at Klein's firehouse. He has more for us in this live report.
That's right, Laurie. It was a ceremony here that the fire department is all too familiar with, tragically. They unveiled bunting, black and purple bunting above the doors of the firehouse, Ladder Company 170, to honor 31-year-old Timothy Klein. His parents, his sisters, and girlfriend were here in attendance. His captain described Klein as an officer's dream. He says he's heartbroken. He says that Klein was known as the Canarsie Kid and the Golden Child because he was always him. He was a natural leader and knew what to do. He's been on the
time 2:48. A New York judge has found former President Donald Trump in contempt of court for failing to adequately respond to a subpoena issued by the state attorney general as part of a civil investigation into Mr. Trump's business dealings. Judge Arthur Engoron has imposed a $10,000 a day fine against the former president. And he had a message. He said, Mr. Trump, I know you take your business seriously, and I take mine seriously. I hereby hold you in civil contempt. The former president's attorney said, we respectfully disagree with the court's decision. All documents responsive to the subpoena were produced to the attorney general months ago. Previously, the former president has referred to the investigation as a witch hunt. Was based on 249. During their trip to Ukraine, and meeting with President Vladimir Zelensky,
Speed camera reported ahead.
The change will give judges more discretion in setting bail in certain instances. The same poll found that 63% of voters, including 68% upstate, disapprove of the deal to put $600 million in state funds in for a new build stadium. And 45% of voters said they were ready to elect someone else for governor in November versus 40% who said they would give Hochul a full term. Elon Musk could soon have a new property and Twitter handle under his belt. Twitter shares opened higher after reports that the company could accept a deal to sell the platform to Tesla CEO Elon Musk. According to multiple sources, an announcement could come as soon as today. Last week, Musk said he had secured $46.5 million for the acquisition. Correspondent Naomi Ruffin this afternoon, Musk tweeted, I hope that even my worst critics remain on Twitter because that is where free speech, that is what free speech means. It's based on 251. Time for traffic and transit with Greg Rice.
Well, the FDR Drive getting better right away to East Houston Street. One police workout had all lanes subject to closure right away. Near East Houston Street right now, it's just leftover volume. Northbound side, a lot of it from the Brooklyn Bridge. Southbound side from East 42nd Street. On the westbound Beach QE, you're calling out of Queens from Queens Boulevard.
In 1,000 feet, turn right on Union Turnpike.
Is knocked out with a stall. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels sitting outside of the Georgia to Georgia North. Northbound and west side, best of it out. Also the outbound Georgia, the 8095 outbound expressway. You're right here, 70 with a crash knocked you out of the way. Going to Holland, you're okay.
Some of them are good, yeah. Some of them are just not hold on. Some of them are maybe, one of them is 49. Sometimes it's online. Sometimes at the box office, they have the code for it. They use a code that they have. I think we said when I went to see I liked it. We saw it twice. We went right before Christmas. We went just with December. I took him as a Christmas gift. Yeah. But I like the theme of the song. It's very like it looks like the inside stuff, right? Right, I like it. I like that atmosphere, yeah. Yeah.
Watch out, vehicle on shoulder ahead.
want to see it again. Just to see what it's like when it's upstairs. He sat right in front of the original on the left side with the
In a quarter of a mile, turn left on 71st Avenue.
Yeah, I don't know which one it is that we got the long time ago. I bought it in November. Yeah. Sometimes it happens. But we had it Sunday. Sunday night. December number 2, but I bought it in the afternoon too, but it happened at 7.
Turn left on 71st Avenue.
Maybe the Monday after. Maybe the Monday. Yeah. Even if they be running maybe on a Sunday or early maybe Sunday afternoon, yeah. 4:30. Yeah. Can you visit What with the Cubs? Really? Wow. Is he a psychic too?
In 3/4 of a mile, you'll arrive.
Where does he live? Okay. Okay. How come he doesn't want to finish for 3 credit? Yeah, but he only has 3 more credits, right? Right. Yeah. Wow. Oh, wow. Stop with the roaches already. Come on, this home. We have that here too. No. No, that wasn't true. Oh my God. I can't. Oh my God. Did I tell you I was on I'm on the waiting list? I told you? Yeah, it's on East 70th Street, first stop. Yeah, it's on East 70. I think it's 343 East 70th. It's a building for seniors. It's actually for seniors. It's for older people. It's like my Windy. It's a nice neighborhood. It's like Lenox Hill, yeah. But mine is through the housing, so it's going to be cheaper. Really? Yeah. I like the list. Yeah, I like the We went to dinner last night. Every time we go to dinner, it comes out to $112. Isn't that something? Well, we had one drink each. We had one drink each. We plates of dinner, and then we had a dessert and a cappuccino each. So it wasn't bad for all of that, you know. Each of us like not even 60. Yeah, it wasn't bad. We went to the place. Like that. Very old fashioned.
You'll arrive in 1,000 feet.
N-I-Z-Z-A, that's good too, Niza. That's the, I think it's 6:30 like that. It's right off, like off of 45th and 9th. It's right around the corner from the other one. Yeah, yeah. And then the other nice Italian place was Da Tommaso. Da Tommaso's on 8th Avenue, like on 52nd Street. Yeah, it's good. All three of them are good.
You've arrived at your destination.
Oh. Really? Well,
Yeah, I wanna pull.
yeah, this is good.
Pull
But
aside.
it really wasn't too bad.
Adding new car seat ride to queue.
You have a good day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good day. Yeah, so the drinks we had, I had them like.
In 700 feet, keep left.
Alexa, where's my cup?
In 600 feet, turn left on Queens Boulevard.
We ask of him every day and his fellow colleagues.
Fire escalated to three-alarm. More than 100 firefighters.
Head to your pickup at 10615 Queens Boulevard.
Number of ladder 170
Jennifer.
and a 6.5-year veteran.
In 600 feet,
Klein
turn
provided
left
by
on
his
Queens
father,
Boulevard,
retired
Service Road.
FDNY firefighter Patrick Klein, his mother, and 3 sisters. Former
Jennifer.
President Donald Trump held in contempt of court today by a New York judge just for failing to adequately respond to a subpoena from State Attorney General Letitia James. It's part of a civil investigation into Trump's business dealings. The judge has ordered Trump to pay a fine of $10,000 per day. James asked the court to hold Trump in contempt once he missed a March 31st court-imposed deadline to turn over documents. Trump's called James' investigation a politically motivated witch hunt. The former president's reps didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. The 2 highest U.S. government officials visiting Ukraine since the war began on February 24th. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin met with Ukrainian President Zelensky Sunday. The U.S. plans to reopen its embassy in Kyiv and increase military presence for the country, with Russian troops moving east and south. This morning, Blinken and Austin gave a press conference about their meeting with Zelensky.
We had an opportunity to demonstrate directly our
Jennifer.
strong support, our strong ongoing
What's up,
support
Jennifer?
for the Ukrainian government and for the Ukrainian people. This was
in our judgment, an important moment to be there. An important moment for Ukraine, for the war. An important moment to have face-to-face conversations in detail.
Today, President Biden expected to nominate Bridget Brink, the current ambassador to Slovakia, as Ukraine's ambassador. The U.S. has begun the process of taking in Ukrainian refugees. The Biden administration's new Uniting for Ukraine program will take in 100,000 Ukrainian refugees. Only Ukrainians fleeing the war in Ukraine are eligible. They'll have to pass background checks and COVID requirements, and they'll also need a sponsor. This must be a citizen of the U.S. or an organization. Those who are admitted can stay for 2 years under the current rules. The application process began today. Applicants must go on the Department of Homeland Security's website to dhs.gov. NBC News reports there's no limit to how many Ukrainians someone can sponsor. And China has stepped up their zero COVID tolerance lockdown. Authorities have erected metal fences in Shanghai to keep residents in their homes. Pictures and videos of this are leaking out on social media. It's reported there are security guards watching them 24/7. Chinese government reported to say the restrictions will only be lifted when COVID is completely eliminated. Cases are still being reported there. France elected President Emmanuel Macron. Macron is the first president to be elected for a second term in 20 years. He beat out Marine Le Pen. Le Pen called a national meeting of her far-right National Party Monday to chart her way ahead. Longest-serving Republican U.S. Senator in history, Orangey Hatch, has died at the age of 88. Hatch's foundation announced his death but didn't give a cause. Your forecast in the Ramsey Mazda Weather Center: cloudy today, high near 60. Tonight, cloudy, lows in the low 50s. And Tuesday, mostly cloudy with a 50% chance of showers, highs in the mid to upper 60s. It's 58 degrees and cloudy at 3:05. 77 WABC time check sponsored by Global Watches. Discover finely crafted timepieces available at Macy's. From the 77 WABC Midtown Manhattan studios, I'm Jacqueline Carl. Traffic and transit is next. The news never stops at WABCRadio.com. Up next, the Rudy Giuliani Show.
WABC Traffic and Transit.
Starting out in New Jersey, southbound Route 1 approaching Amboy Avenue. An accident
left
blocks
on
one
Queens
lane. You have
Boulevard,
stop and go
Service
traffic
Road.
from Ford Avenue. And then northbound on Route 15 approaching the Sussex-Morris County line. An accident takes out a lane. You have stop and go traffic back from Route 181.
700 feet.
Taking a
You'll
look now
arrive.
in the 5 boroughs, we do have a disabled vehicle. This one is westbound at DQE at Meeker Morgan. Delayed if you head through there. And then northbound FGR Drive at 61st Street, exit 12. That accident is still out there blocking the left lane. We now have stop and go traffic from 49th Street, exit 10. And we do have another accident to tell you about. This one on the southbound side of the FGR Drive at Houston Street, exit 5. This one takes out one lane and you have stop and go traffic all the way back from 23rd Street, exit 7. I'm Jacqueline Pearl with your traffic update on 77 WABC.
You've arrived at your destination.
Giuliani.
This is Rudy Giuliani, and we are bringing you the Rudy Giuliani Show today from a very, very special place. The first Erica Warehouse, which is in the town of Islip and the hamlet of Ronkonkoma. Don't you love that hamlet part? The hamlet of Ronkonkoma. This is a place you can't believe. We're going to take pictures of it and put it on my website. That's Rudy Giuliani Common Sense. Well, it's really
Head to your drop-off at 10736 71st Avenue.
In 800 feet, turn right.
It's for Jennifer, yeah?
door.
Yeah.
Buckle up, buckle up.
Turn right on 69th Avenue.
Stop right here, stop right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right here.
We're going down to the other one, but this is a chase back. We're going here.
Oh, this is a good bank too?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
We're
here
going
is.
to the other one at 71st.
Yeah.
Can I open?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Don't want them to nick off the car door.
Have a good day, Mama. Take care, Mama.
Thank you.
In
Well,
400
it's a
feet,
little harder to
keep
reach,
left
so
to
we'll have
Queens
to see what the
Boulevard.
report was on this. But, sympathy goes out to the family of Timothy Klein. We are encouraged by the fact that I bet Frank Silla's there already. If he isn't there, he'll be there tonight, paying off the mortgage of this man's home. Tunnels and Towers does that immediately, and putting the family in touch with numerous families who have gone through the same thing. It's not going to ease their pain, but it is going to give them some strength that they otherwise wouldn't have. You know, I go up and down about Adams. I was real happy about him when he took on Black Lives Matter and didn't back off. Okay, because he usually backs off, but this time he didn't. However, this whole recreation of my crime unit, anti-crime unit, has become a disaster. The anti-crime unit workers with plain clothes because people didn't know they were cops, so they could go into crowds. They could see a guy with a gun. Police officers on the outside, sometimes on horseback, could alert them, and they'd grab the gun, arrest the guy, grab the drugs, arrest the guy, stop the mugging before it happened, stop the purse theft before it happened. He did it. He made a unit like that, and then he put him in uniform because the woke groups complained. The answer to them should have been go to hell. Right? I know how to police. You know how to make trouble. He should have insisted they be plain clothes. Now he's bragging. Now he's bragging about how many arrests they made. Wow. These guys in uniform. Maybe I was wrong, people. Maybe I really don't know as much about policing as you think. I just kind of reduce crime by the most in history by accident. Maybe it's better if they're in uniform. You know how many guns they've taken in 3 weeks? 25 arrests in 3 weeks.
Speed camera reported
When
ahead.
I was
Keep
mayor,
left to Queens
and
Boulevard.
Bratton, Safer, or Bernie, the police commissioner,
and I had them out on a special mission to get guns, and they came back with 25 arrests. I'd say, we got a choice. They get fired or you do. Because you had to be sleeping all day. I could get together a posse of about 10 people. We could pick up 100 guns in 6 hours. That's a really good police unit. That's what happens when you're not spotted as a cop.
In 3/4 of a mile, exit to Queens Boulevard, Service
I don't know
Road.
if he's a jackass or he's a weak politician who says bold things and then backs off. But he certainly is not a mayor who knows how to reduce crime, because crime is up considerably higher now than it was under de Blasio. And did you think that was possible? Honest to God, I didn't think it was possible. I did not think it was possible to have crime higher than de Blasio, but Adams has all crimes, including murder, higher than de Blasio. Property crimes are like 100% higher. They're double. They got to be undercover, right? They've got to have probable cause, which they only really develop if people don't know they're there. And then finally, let's get our friend Adams off the hook for only 25 situations. But we've been able to track, or the Post's been able to track 12 of those, not all 25. Of the 12, 11 are already free. So, you know how fast it would be for them to get another gun? I would say probably one is waiting for them when they come out. I mean, I don't know how many illegal guns there are in New York. Who the heck would know that? But I'm going to tell you, an estimate of 3 to 4 million would not be ridiculous. There are 200 million in the United States. You see, you're not gonna fight guns by going after the gun. It is important to get the guns out of the trial. That's important. The most important is the person. If you give me the choice of, if you keep the gun out, or they can, or they put the dial over the gun, put the dial over. That's gonna do more damage than the gun. Then they just lay there forever, nobody ever touches it. The guy is gonna shoot just to keep the gun.
Tower dining.
Study trial. That's what it's horrible. So maybe it's time to release. All about career criminals. Remarkably small number of people. And if you can focus on those people, and you can't let race or religion or indifference.
Speed camera reported ahead.
You don't pick them because of race. You pick them because they kill a lot of people. We pick them because they've been arrested 150 times. We pick them because we know if we let them out on bail, they're going to rape somebody. And probably they're going to rape somebody of their own race. So that all this incompetence by Adams, the major victims here have been black people. I mean, he's been a terrible mayor for black people. I've a lot done. I saved more black lives than any mayor in history. So far, he's costing more black lives than de Blasio on a percentage basis. When is he going to wake up? Here's why I get angry with him. I think he knows what to do. He was a cop. Now, he wasn't a real cop, but he was a cop. Bit of a political cop. We're trying to find out an arrest that he made. I asked Braden. I asked Kelly. I just asked Safer. I don't want to repeat what Howard said. Howard is a real fine gentleman, a Marine, former head of the Marshal Service and Police Commissioner, Fire Commissioner. He's a real gentleman. I never heard him talk like this. And then Bernie, who's a little more diplomatic. But none of them can figure out what the hell he ever did with the cop except complain about the conditions for black police officers, which is a fine thing to do, but that should be secondary to your job of arresting criminals. So, if you want to find a place worse than New York, the place to find is the southern border. So when we come back, we're going to talk about the southern border and the invasion that we're not paying attention to. We're paying attention to the invasion in Ukraine. We should, but we're paying no attention with the even larger invasion and even more damaging invasion of our own country. We'll be back right after this break.
Rudy Giuliani on 77.
In 1,000 feet, exit right to Queens Boulevard, Service Road.
77.
information, I guess, is in the same book. Apparently, Harris was looking for advice beyond her inner circle and sought the counsel of Rahm Emanuel and MSNBC's Joe Scarborough.
Every game. But then in 2015, the Bremerton School District in Washington State said Coach Kennedy had to stop praying or lose his job. He chose the latter. Years later, he continues to fight for his religious freedom. Starting today, Coach Kennedy's case will be decided now by the United States Supreme Court. Here's Kennedy on how his praying all began.
One of the kids asked me, "Can we join you out there?" I said, "Well, this is America. Of course you can join me." You know, a couple of them came out, and then more kids came out, and then ended up being, you know, over the years, the entire team was coming out.
Meantime, athletes around the country continue to take a knee on the playing field for BLM and get praise. But this coach takes a knee for God and gets sacked? Lydia Serrani for 77 WABC News.
Listen to Rudy Giuliani every weekday at 3:55 p.m. for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, Mayor's Final Thoughts. Rudy gives his insightful, most candid, and important final thought of the day on topics affecting our community, our nation,
on the way
and
back
you.
to Manhattan.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation, Mayor's Final Thoughts, weekdays at 3:55 p.m. on 77 WABC. Coming up at 3:55 p.m., listen to Rudy Giuliani for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, Mayor's Final Thoughts on 77 WABC.
Could this be the end of the dollar as we know it? Biden signed an executive order for digital money, and the Democrats have submitted their proposal legislation for a digital dollar with Senate Bill 3571.
Exit right to Queens Boulevard,
The end of the
Service
dollar
Road.
may be coming sooner than you think. Millions are taking action to protect their savings and retirement. Don't get left behind.
In 700
You can
feet,
take action by
use the right
requesting a
lane to
free
keep
copy
right to
Monetary
I-495
Goals
Long Island
Protection
Expressway
Guide.
West toward
You'll
Midtown
learn about
Tunnel.
the one particular account that all wealthy people have and why you should have one.
Keep right to
Covers what to do
I-495
and
Long
what
Island
not to
Expressway
do.
West toward Midtown
Protect your
Tunnel.
retirement. Call them at 888-204-2141. Monetary Gold has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Call today, 844-204-2141. That's 888-204-2141.
The views and opinions expressed by the individual hosts and their guests do not necessarily reflect the policies or positions of WABC Radio, its management, or its sponsors.
Talk Radio 77, The Rudy Giuliani Show. This is Rudy Giuliani again, back with you, and I'm broadcasting from Ronkonkoma, New York, from America First Warehouse, and we'll be talking to the man who started and the man who runs, don't you love this name, The Loud Majority. This way they can hear us through the censorship of ABC, NBC, CBS, and every other left-wing group job that runs a network. And hopefully Elon Musk is going to do something about that. So we're worried about Ukraine, which I am. I'm more worried about our border. You notice even that strange murder that took place in Queens, that hotel woman who was having an affair, and he came and he killed her, he chopped her up and put her in a bag. He was illegal. He was an illegal immigrant. Oh, I can't say that anymore. Can't say illegal immigrant. You have to say irregular. That's what the little red flyer said. You got to call it irregular. But then you get to ask the question, which is, why are they irregular? Because they're illegal. So then why can't I call them illegal? See, this is right out of Orwell's 1984. It's called doublespeak. If something is a fraud, you call it honest. If something is honest, you call it a fraud. If you're cheating with the Ukrainians, you claim that Trump is interfering by getting the Russians to collude, and then you pay money to set them up. And it turns out 5 years later, it's totally untrue. And nothing happens. Nothing happens. I mean, look at that, the shifty shift. He stood up 3 years ago and said, I have eyewitnesses to Trump colluding with the Russians.
Manhattan.
There's a big MS-13 contingent here in Iceland. Gosh, they came out here about 7 or 8 years ago.
In 1.9 miles. Keep left to I-495 West. Queens Midtown Tunnel, cars lanes.
They're all over the country. They're all over the country, and so are the Mexicans. That's why people are dying of fentanyl more than COVID. Young people up to 13 years old die of fentanyl a lot more than they do COVID. 13 to 28. What do we do about fentanyl? Nothing. Created this whole thing. This is the Biden open door, and this is the Biden fentanyl crisis. We'll never touch fentanyl because China will tell them no. Because China is supplying it to the Mexican cartel. Sue them to get the money. Did you know that? Well, they're going to sue them, probably in hell. They're going to sue them. So let's go to Don. He's in Hopewell Junction, New Jersey. Hi, Don.
How are you, Mayor?
I'm good, Don. Great talking to you. What's up?
You sound surprised about what's going on in the city and all, but you're talking about the Biden of Brooklyn. I think he's right on target with what their agenda is.
Well, you did. Well, now that's very, very good of you because you remember he announced about a month ago that he would be the Biden of Brooklyn, right? You were talking about Adams, right?
That's right.
Adams announced he'd be the Biden of Brooklyn. So I guess he can ruin Brooklyn the way Biden is ruining America. Maybe Brooklyn will look like it used to under other Democrats. Do you know there hadn't been a riot in New York for 20 years? The last time there was a riot was when you had a Democratic mayor named Dinkins. And then we had a riot when
Turn
we had a
left on
Democratic
Greenpoint Avenue. Then
under
keep right
Dinkins,
to
and then we
Gordon
had, I
Avenue.
don't know how many under de Blasio. You know, and
Giuseppe Hawkins?
pardon me?
Giuseppe Hawkins?
Yeah.
Keep right to Gordon Avenue.
All right. Well, thank you, Don. Thank you for checking in with us. We're going to give it a try for Ellis from the Bronx.
In 900 feet, turn left on Van
Ellis
Dam
is not
Street.
with us anymore. Hope it doesn't mean that. No, Ellis just got off the Maria. Oh, Mario. I'm sorry. I got the genders wrong.
Hello, Rudy!
Okay, I got it. It's Mario. I got it. You got testosterone, baby. Okay.
Turn left on Van Dam Street. Then turn left to I-495 West, Midtown Tunnel,
The
to
cartels
Fort
of Metro are
Manhattan.
bringing it in, and it's ending up in South Shore, Staten Island. South Shore, Staten Island. Hashish, heroin, and opiate prescription pain pill distribution, illegal sale, purchase, and overdose center of the
Turn
world.
left to I-495 West, Midtown
Number 2
Tunnel,
is the
to
bum
Fort
Bronx.
Manhattan.
Number 3 is state of New Jersey. Number 4 is any other country.
Well, I'm not sure I understood all of that, but you're absolutely correct that the fentanyl crisis in America reaches Staten Island. No question about that. It's being ignored because there's no other way to describe it other than it is brought to us, produced by Joseph Biden. Now, he may not know that his policies produce this. I don't even know if he knows what his policies are. But they are his policies. Don't you love it when he comes out and says, they told me I shouldn't take any questions, or they told me I shouldn't call on you, or they told me I should end my call. Who is they? Because we need to know who they are. They are running our country, not, look, I'm trying to be gentle and nice. I can't actually, see, I feel very bad for Biden. If he weren't such a big crook. He had been stealing money for 30 years and selling out the office of senator and vice president, and it's all documented on the hard drive, for which they tried to torture me for producing it. You know, I was a Russian spy. I tell I was a Russian spy. I never took money from Russia like they did. We never dared do it. They are the most documented criminal group in the White House ever in our history. I don't think we've ever had a 30-year bribe taker sitting in the White House who also, even worse than bribes, took money from our biggest enemies. This is like Roosevelt sitting there and he had taken money from Hitler and Mussolini. In those days, we would have kicked him out. Well, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking to our friends here. You're going to love it. And this is the place that Democrats should not come, because they're going to get sick. America first wears.
WABC National News Update.
I'm Jennifer Grodd. Murders of police officers rose 59% in 2021, and FBI Director Christopher Wray is speaking out.
Violence against law enforcement in this country is one of the biggest phenomenons that I think doesn't get enough attention. Last year, officers were being killed at a rate of almost 1 every 5 days.
That was Wray during a CBS 60 Minutes interview on Sunday. Wray lost 2 agents to gun violence last year. Laura Schwarzenberger and Daniel Alton were shot while executing a search warrant in a child pornography case. Now, President Biden on Monday has nominated Bridget Brink, the current U.S. ambassador to Slovakia, to be the new U.S. ambassador to Ukraine. Brink, who is from Michigan, started working in the State Department in 1996 and can speak Russian and Serbian. If confirmed by the Senate, Brink will become the first U.S. ambassador to Ukraine since 2019. In the Big Apple, the FDNY is mourning the loss of 31-year-old Timothy Klein. On Sunday, firefighters were responding to a third alarm fire in Canarsie when a ceiling collapsed while fighting the blaze. At least 8 other officers were injured. The remains of a 21-year-old autistic male who lived at the house were found after battling the fire. The structural remains of the gutted 2-story home are expected to be demolished later today. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. And staying in New York City, the MTA board is set to meet as new data shows a spike in assaults in the subway system. According to the NYPD, there were 62 felony assaults in the subways last month. That's up from 41 the month before and represents the highest number of felony assaults since the NYPD increased its presence in the subway nearly a year ago. With your national news update for 77 WABC, I'm Jennifer Grodd.
77 WABC Sports, celebrating 100 years from the World Series in 1921.
Here now is Babe Ruth.
To Howard Cosell.
Hello again, everyone. Howard Cosell.
And now 77 WABC Sports is on Instagram. All the news, all the stories, all the action. Follow at 77 WABC Sports.
WABC Talk Radio 77.
Talk Radio 77 WABC. Coming up at 3:55 p.m., listen to Rudy Giuliani for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation Mayor's Final Thoughts on 77 WABC.
Could this be the end of the dollar as we know it? Biden signed an executive order for digital money, and the Democrats have submitted their proposal legislation for a digital dollar with Senate Bill 3571. The end of the dollar may be coming sooner than you think. Millions are taking action to protect their savings and retirement. Don't get left behind. You can take action by requesting a free copy of Monetary Goals Protection Guide. You'll learn about the one particular account that all wealthy people have and why you should have one. It covers what to do and what not to do to protect your retirement. Call them at 888-204-2141. Monetary Gold has an A+ rating with the Better Business.
we go. There you go.
Democratic policies are never going to get these people that live there to step up. They're never going to get them to see the American dream. When you keep someone on the dole, they're never getting off of it. And
So how can people find out about loud majority if they want to help you? And if it's just limited to NASA and stuff like that?
No. We have people in New York City all over the place. We have a Queens group. They can go to loudmajorityus.com. My business partner and I, Sean, we do a show 3 days a week in the morning. So I'm like turning.
Oh, tell me the show. How do you get it?
You can go on Facebook, Rumble, or on YouTube.
What are you looking for?
Just go to Long Island Loud Majority on Facebook.
Long Island Loud Majority on Facebook.
Yeah, but we're growing bigger and bigger every day. We got a lot of work to do in New York City, and yeah, it's we've made politics fun.
Yeah, I know. The way Trump did. I mean, you look at it under Biden, people have their heads down. I mean, you're wondering whether he's going to make it up to the
Make a
podium.
U-turn to stay on Van Dam Street.
Off the podium.
Speed trap reported
About
ahead.
Title 42, how he clearly doesn't know what that is.
He had it completely confused with mass man.
I know, it's like at a certain, you were talking before about who runs the show. It upsets me that Susan Rice and Jake Sullivan over at State are running the country. And nobody even knows anything.
Obama must really be running the country because everybody at the White House seems to know him better than Biden.
That was so sick. That was genuine example. Oh, he's the president of the United States. I don't want, people say you want the president to speak because he's the pilot of the ship.
So I raised a question on my show yesterday and on my podcast and my work. Are they keeping Biden, even though he's demented, in the job because they're afraid of Harris?
I think they're keeping him in the job because they have no bench.
Yeah.
Who comes after him?
But I think had it worked out the way they planned, Harris would become the president right after the midterm election. I think the plan was they knew he couldn't. They were just hoping he'd make it. They see him privately. They see him obviously. He turns around and he shakes hands with the air. Can you imagine what he does? Okay, so they thought Harris would be it. She could take over right after, and now it turns out, I think they even realize there's something wrong with Harris.
It's almost impressive how little charisma she has. It's almost impressive how unimpressive she is.
And she seems dumb.
Right.
I mean, explaining that Ukraine is a small country. China is a big country. Big countries can take advantage of small countries. But thank you, Pamela. That's really very right.
I mean, that's genuinely a second-grade answer to foreign policy.
Yeah.
That is something you'd expect an 8-year-old to give you.
And then her work on the border is fabulous. She's been millions and millions and millions come in. Do you know last year they talked about the almost 2 million that came in that were apprehended? The general rule of thumb is that somewhere between 30 and 100% of the apprehended number come in undetected. So let's make it a nice number like 70 million that came in undetected.
Mashiach.
And she's supposed to be taking care of the border. She's been there twice. He's never been there in his whole life.
When you look at what's going on, I think it was every month the city of Tallahassee comes over the border. To put that into context. Every month the size of the city of Tallahassee, Florida, which is the capital of Florida, comes over the border. And that's just what we know about.
They keep attacking him by saying, he's never been to the border. I want him to add to that. But during his years as vice president, he was in the Ukraine 14 times. Why?
Well, because
the border didn't pay him any money. Ukraine gave him $14 million.
The fact that coming up, and the work he's doing for the government,
all of it, even screwed all of it. So now, let's just do a Las Vegas thing. If everything I said about the laptop, which is very detailed, and all the podcasts I put out last year before, are true, which I now say is true. What are the odds that I'm telling the truth about the election?
Yeah, I voted for the guy.
I want to know who got 61 votes. But 51? I know who they are. Banana. I use the kind of half.
Mashiach.
I think some of the, I can't even say it, but I think Brennan is going to turn out to be the guy behind the Trump plan.
Oh, absolutely. And when you get to those high levels, and I'm not talking about the door kickers of the FBI, but when you get to that level of all the way up, you become a politician. It doesn't matter whether it's Comey or Clapper or Brennan or General Milley, you become politician.
They don't even bother to check. It was so ridiculous. It came from a guy in Delaware who was willing to explain it came from him, and you could always check the signatures. Well, we'll be back. Thank you. So one more time, how do they get in touch with you?
You go to loudmajorityus.com.
And how about America First?
Go to the AmericaFirstWarehouse.com. We have events over here at the campus all the time.
You remember the price of admission?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the price of admission is people from the New York Times will never get in.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Taylor Lorenz is
You're not allowed to even think that the election was stolen, because we are no longer a democracy. We are now a dictatorship. They want to tell us what to think. You cannot think that the election was stolen. You can't even suspect the election was stolen. However, Hillary Clinton, for 6 years, has been going around saying the election is stolen. And nobody says a damn thing. And that other one, Stacey Abrams, right? She's been saying she's governor of Georgia, and she wasn't elected. She said president of Earth. So we'll be back right after this. Mayor's final on 77
for the Nets as Game 4 of their first-round series kicks off tonight at 7 o'clock, hosting the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum has been a nightmare for Brooklyn, averaging 29.5 points per game in this series alone. Last game, he had an astounding 39 points with 6 steals. Brooklyn's going to need KD and Kyrie at their best. This has not been the case as of late, with the Nets leading scorer in Game 3 being Bruce Brown. Will not make his highly anticipated return tonight.
Yeah. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
You going Diamond Street?
Yes.
Diamond Street, Brooklyn. Oh, it's like this song. Bright shine like a diamond.
Yeah.
Bright shine like a diamond. Bright shine like a diamond. It's all commercial area.
People were killed in American soil. The Tony Tower Foundation has been supporting America's heroes and their families ever since. For the first
turn, I could just make it over there. Why you didn't tell me? The heck? Jeez, I could just do it over there. Why you didn't tell me? I thought we were going somewhere.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right on Review Avenue.
At least we saw the bridge, Kosciuszko Bridge.
Turn right on Review Avenue. In half a mile, turn left on J.J. Bird Memorial Bridge. In 1,000 feet, turn left.
How dare you say a country that fought a war to free slaves is mostly racist? How dare you say a country that passed the Civil Rights Bill, voted against by a lot of your friends, including the one you eulogized, who was the head of the Ku Klux? How dare you say we're systemically racist? Most of us don't say things like, I don't want my children to go to the jungle. Most of us don't. Most of the time the remarks we make about black people, other people, hey, I just got it. Protection, Joe. More debate. Families in some of this country, how does your family live with it? How does your family live with the fact that they know you don't know what the hell you're doing? And they have you with your finger right near that red button. Don't they care about us at all? Or is it all about the... How many million, Joe? I count 31 million from China to buy you. About 14 million from Ukraine. You know, Mr. Zelensky, what he's doing, I'd really like him to release the files from Ukraine. I know that's exactly what he's doing. In fact, if you go back to my podcast, somehow you also owe Russia. They gave you this, and you're in a tough spot now. They paid you off in Ukraine. They paid you off in China. They paid you off in Russia. So I don't know what you got to do. But we'll talk more about this tomorrow. It was great being able to be in a beautiful, beautiful patriotic spot like this. And it's America's first warehouse. You got to come out and see it. God bless America.
For more information, visit attrcmfacts.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
77 WABC Radio News, New York's news leader, Deborah Valentine.
Every major crime category in New York City.
Bob Brown. Yes, long lines continue in most testing facilities. Jacqueline Carl.
Surging cases of COVID-19. Regarding the nursing
Left on J.J. Bird Memorial Bridge.
I'm Deborah Valentine. I'm Jacqueline Carl.
WABCRadio.com. WABC Radio is proud to celebrate 100 years.
77, a.k.a. Bo Snerdley, up next on 77 WABC. Mets at Cardinals. NBA playoffs, the Nets host the Celtics. Forecasting the Ramsey Mazda Weather Center tonight, cloudy, lows in the low 50s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, chance of showers, highs in the mid to upper 60s. Right now, cloudy outside the Midtown studios at 4:02. 77 WABC time check, sponsored by Bulova Watches. Discover finely crafted timepieces available at Macy's. I'm Bob Brown. Traffic and transit next. Remember, the news never stops at WABCRadio.com.
WABC Traffic and Transit.
In Brooklyn, the stable vehicle in the right lane blocking traffic on the VQE westbound at Meeker Morgan Avenues. In the also on the VQE, we have McGinnis Boulevard and the Humboldt Street exit. That's jamming up westbound because of road construction. That stops traffic near the Kosciuszko Bridge. Checking the bridges and tunnels right now. The GWB inbound upper okay, lower okay, outbound heavy. Lincoln inbound 5 to 10, outbound 5 to 10. And Holland inbound okay for the turnpike and okay for Route 1 outbound 10 to 15 minute delays. I'm Bob Brown with your 77 WABC Traffic and Transit Update.
Attention Ditto Head. Attention Bo Scouts.
Those by the stadium, Bo Snerdley.
It's time for the Soul of Excellence.
He's a radio host at 77 WABC here in New York.
The Rush Hour is on the air.
Rush.
Now here's Bo Snerdley.
Turn right on Diamond Street.
Twitter has become kind of the de facto town square.
You've been here before.
Arrived at your destination.
You know your ABC.
Yeah.
Next time, tell the driver not to the U-turn, you know.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's
I
okay.
didn't know
Up
that
to
it was.
Oh, good luck. You have a good day.
Sorry. Have a good one.
Take care. Bright shine like a diamond. Bright shine.
That this is not going to happen. The good folks at Twitter were not going to let this happen. They were not going to let that barbarian, that rich, filthy, rich barbarian who dated the head Heard girl after, what's his name, Johnny Depp?
Oh, Amber Heard?
Yeah. That dated her. They weren't going to let that guy buy Twitter. No.
Poison pill.
Poison pills. Investors, they're never going to stand for this. Why, we're going to raise more money than that rich billionaire guy with the electric car could ever raise. We'll never, ever get off Twitter.
No one has done it.
I didn't even think about that. It's gone. That's what liberals are saying. It's gone. Oh no, the Titanic is sunk. We have lost it. It's over. WABC's own Jackson Powers said, we're going to go through this because this is a big deal. This is the first of the new mainstream social media platforms that is switching hands to what some people would call the enemy. Which is so funny about this? This has now become a free speech debate if you listen to Elon Musk. And so why would the good folks at Twitter be, some of them, nervous as all get out today when Twitter is gone?
Well, because they had no other bidders. No other bidders emerged, so that's why they went to the negotiation table after all. Yeah.
Wait a minute. So all this business about the poison pill?
Well, that was just to buy them some time and see what was best for their shareholders, see if another bidder stepped forward, see how this was all going to shake out. It just bought them time.
So, do we know yet whether they accepted his first and final offer?
Well, it says that they still have to sign the paperwork, but it's a done thing. $44 billion, approximately, she bought it for.
Which was near his first and final offer.
Yeah, it was. I think he kind of scraped together 46.3 or something,
Right.
but he somehow he got it at a low price at $44 million.
The rest
billion.
Yeah, lawyer's fault. It'll take up the other 2 or 3 billion. I mean,
Probably.
yeah. Okay, so you that first cut that we heard at the beginning of the show, yeah, cut 11. We're gonna play that again. This is a cut that you brought my attention to, Jacqueline, where he says what Elon's mission is. And let's play this again, folks, because this is critical toward understanding why the left is in panic mode this afternoon.
Twitter has become kind of the de facto town square. It's just really important that people have both the reality and the perception that they're able to speak freely within the bounds of the law.
Now, let us remember something. Up until now, Twitter has been really uncompromisingly clear that they will throw off whoever they want to throw off. If you're the president of the United States and they don't like what you're saying, so what? You're just the president. We'll throw you off.
Well, it was my understanding that they were under a lot of public pressure to do that. I mean, they had a lot of meetings about whether or not to do that. There's a lot to this free speech thing and a lot to think about. And what people are saying is that Elon Musk is going to get a fast education in how that is going to all shake out as well, because there's a lot to think about. It's hard for one person to be judge and jury on what is free speech and what is not damaging.
All right, Jacqueline, let me just give you an example. Over the last few weeks, the person that's looking at another social media platform, she calls herself Libs of TikTok.
Okay.
And what she's done is go through TikTok and pick out some of the more, shall we say, progressive videos. For instance, with this whole sexuality in school business. And she's played remarks from teachers. She got thrown off of Twitter, not posts saying themselves. But they didn't suspend the liberals, they suspended her for posting it.
Head to your
How in the
pickup on
world,
11th Street.
and I'm not
In a
asking you
quarter-mile,
to
make a U-turn to stay on 11th Street using the upcoming
that that kind of thing can be supported on what's supposed to be a free speech platform.
Well, it just goes back to free speech, but can you yell fire in a crowded movie theater? There's nuances to this whole thing, and you kind of need more than one person, I think, making those decisions.
And there are, but there are also algorithms making those decisions, which brings us to cut 12, Elon Musk.
One of the things that I believe Twitter should do is open source the algorithm and make any changes to people's tweets, or if they're emphasized or de-emphasized, that action should be made apparent so anyone can see that action has been taken.
This is powerful. From the new owner of Twitter, by the way, the new owner of Twitter is telling the troops over there at Twitter that here's what to expect if you want to stay employed here. You have to change a little algorithm. How do you like that? Brilliant. I say brilliant. You might not be able to just keep throwing people off with your little mathematical equations. What do you think about that?
You know,
you look puzzled when
I am, because you don't know how it's really going to play out, really.
To see these liberals just reaching panties up in the water, excuse me, no offense to anybody, but I just can't wait, because these people are terrified that there will actually be transparency. What he said there was really important, because this is sort of blockchain mentality. We're going to open source. Number one, this is a private company that has been very secretive, just like Facebook, about how many of these programs can pull people off. What Elon Musk said in that quote, unless I got it wrong, we want to open source the algorithm so everybody can see what we're doing. Is that what you want? Yeah. Okay.
Head to your drop of at Urban Tan's Tanning Salon.
It's important for the USA to help freedom in the world.
Shall we? It's important to the function of democracy.
This for Yulia,
The
yes.
United States as a free country, not many other countries, and
Continue straight.
Actually, to help freedom in the world.
Wow. Decidedly, he sees this as a cause.
Yeah.
And a cause,
that way.
yeah. And a cause to help the United States. Well, he sees apparently the role of the United States is to help freedom stay in the world, and he sees this as a vital part of helping the United States to do that.
Well, that's what they're saying, why he just didn't accept the position on the board. He felt that Twitter was not living up to its potential as a platform for free speech, and he wants to make changes. Story altogether.
1.5 miles. Exit to I-278 West, Brooklyn Queens Expressway, Staten Island.
And in the past 3 days, we've had the ex-CEO of McDonald's. God said he's forming an organization. The CEO who wanted to run both companies become accountable to realize that their corporate mission is not to be woke or be involved in politics, but rather to provide value to the shareholders and stay out of politics. So he said that, and that's a big deal. When the CEO of McDonald's is knowing this deal, okay. Then we've had this ongoing battle with Disney and Ron DeSantis. And from my point of view, DeSantis is winning that battle. That remains to be seen, I know, because there's some other legal actions that Disney is promising. But a state grant you special privileges. I don't get that. I don't see that as being something that's going to be upheld. And even if they lose in court, the moral battle, I would argue, has been won by this, or at least this is an argument that is now in the public square. And now we have Elon Musk, who's pretty much arguing against wokeness. He's another one. Look, he's for freedom, freedom of speech. We need to help America. Help people become free.
Hannah, Eliyahu Halia, or 3 others.
Okay, now, let's go to Tech 15, because I think this is also an incredible thing.
This is a way to sort of make money.
Isn't that doing this to make money? Mr. Billion.
Okay. I know he said that, but it's kind of like, I don't know, even the richest man in the world, if you're going to spend $44 billion, it's not to make money. I don't know, maybe he's making enough money on Tesla and his spaceship.
He's doing quite well with Tesla.
What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know about the spaceship business. I mean, isn't he battling Amazon Prime on that one? Yeah, Blue Origin, Amazon Prime. That's the SpaceX versus Amazon.
I see.
Yeah. Okay. Cut 16. Twitter. What will become of Twitter?
Twitter or any forum is bound by the laws of the country that it operates in. So obviously there are some limitations on free speech in the U.S. and of course Twitter would have to abide by those rules.
That goes to what you were, I think, saying earlier, that, yeah, okay, he still has to...
But what are those laws? You know, like, in your mind, what are the laws? Like, what...
In my mind, the law says you can't walk around throwing up President Trump off your website because you don't like him. You have to let him have his freedom of speech, too. That's what I think. I think it also says I would be remiss if I didn't add this. I think at Twitter, you can't... If I go on Twitter, if you go on Twitter, Jacqueline, if we don't like what someone's saying to us or saying about us, or someone's being a pest or a gnat,
block.
An ankle biter, right? Block. The President of the United States couldn't block legally. He got sued for blocking. And I always question whether that was a good decision or not. I think ultimately what this is also going to start yielding fruit to is the underlying issue with all the social media platforms. Are they publishers or are they not? on their own expertise and their own capability have
In a quarter of a mile,
about
use the right lane to exit.
they were banned from Twitter because some, for all we know, some little millennial at home watching an algorithm decided, well, this person's saying something that's not true, that's disinformation. Time has passed. We're going to decide the information that gets out, what's disinformation, what's not. You're acting as an editor. You're not acting as an impartial being. When you're acting as an editor, you have a reputation, whether it's a digital publication or not. Well, you should keep being.
Turn right on Briggs Avenue.
Stay here. We're going to run out. Okay. See that number to call 800-849.
Turn right on Briggs Avenue.
Is this a big deal to you? The jam has burst on wokeism.
WABC, traffic and transit. On the expressway eastbound between exit 33 Lakeville Road and exit 42 the Northern State Parkway in Dix Hills out in Suffolk County. Route 231 Deer Park Avenue is jamming southbound between County Road 2, that's straight path, and County Road 34 Deer Park Avenue. And in Melville, the expressway eastbound between Walt Whitman Road and exit 50 Bagatelle Road is also slowing up with afternoon rush traffic. Checking the bridges and tunnels right now. GWB inbound upper okay.
Turn left on Lorimer Street.
Checking transit right now on the rails and the subways. Right now, it's looking good at the moment on those transit hubs. I'm Bob Brown with your 77.
In 900 feet, turn right on Bayard Street.
Timing is everything. You need to understand why the time is now to invest in gold. Friends, last year, your dollar lost a ton of value. Inflation rose by almost 7% in just 1 month toward the end of the year. This year, the stock market has been plummeting and your portfolio is in trouble. Inflation is a silent killer. Gold provides a hedge against inflation and can protect your family's wealth. Legacy Precious Metals is the company I trust for investing in gold and silver. You can trust Legacy Precious Metals because they give you unbiased counsel based on your personal situation. Call Legacy Precious Metals. They can advise
Turn right on Bayard Street.
whether that's rolling your existing retirement account into a gold IRA or whether that's holding physical metals directly in your home. You can speak to an IRA expert at Legacy Precious Metals at 866-964-0616 or download their free investor's guide at legacypninvestments.com.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year for Spanish. Pretty basic.
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind. Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned. ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿De dónde eres? ¿De dónde eres? No matter your learning style or experience level, Babbel has lessons designed for you that will get you speaking quickly and confidently. I tried learning Spanish before, but I couldn't stick with it, so I found Babbel. Language for life, celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Radio 77 WABC.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is The Rush Hour with Bo Snerdley.
Rush.
In a quarter of a mile, you'll arrive.
America's football team, the Dallas Cowboys. Get with it. Okay, bring this North Carolina stuff in here.
Here is good. Where is good for you? Good luck. You have a good day. Take care. Be safe. So you can even get ice cream. Ice cream. On to the next one. On to the next one.
All set, let's go. We're all set, let's go. In 300 feet, turn left.
Ice cream, ice cream. Chummy, chummy, chummy.
We've got a bunch of flaming liberals working for our company who don't like him. And I notice you're fighting. Are you in the news?
I'm a journalist, so
You're a journalist. Leave it to me. I'm a talk you all. Okay. That's right. That's what the translation of that is, folks. Here's the translation. Play the clip one more time, please.
We want to be just very reluctant to delete things and have just be very cautious with permanent bans. Timeouts I think are better.
Yeah. Okay, let me translate that. To you people that I just bought, yeah, that's right, you people on the third floor there, on Twitter, okay, those of you who sit in the we're gonna throw out that person department.
Head to your pickup near Tacombe, Williamsburg on Metropolitan Ave.
In 300 feet,
not the
keep right to
president of the United
Metropolitan
States,
Avenue.
or not any of these conservatives that you're like just tossing out at random. You're actually gonna have to pay attention to your job. How about that? Well, they must be shaking in their boots over Twitter this afternoon.
I would like to know for sure what they think. Wouldn't you?
I would love, yes.
Like just to hear what the conversation is there.
You know who can tell us probably? James O'Keefe. He probably has an undercover operation with Project Veritas right now. Listen to all these Twitter people complaining about Elon Musk, and he's going to come out with it probably. I would love if something like that would happen.
It might.
Yeah, what else did he have to say?
Well, he's talking about how important it is to have a trusted platform. Cut 18.
My strong intuitive sense is that having a public platform that is maximally trusted and broadly inclusive is extremely important to the future of civilization.
But you described yourself.
I don't care about the economics at all.
Okay, that's cool to hear.
Well, once again, he says he doesn't care about the economics. This is about freedom of speech. Broadly inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Broadly inclusive. Not just inclusive, broadly inclusive freedom of speech.
According to him.
You've arrived
Yes,
at your
and
destination.
trusted meaning.
That it's open. That
Yes.
they tell you how they've made decisions about whether or not to keep someone on or not.
This is an earthquake for social media.
It is.
What happens now to Facebook?
Head to
What
your
happens
drop
now
off at United Airlines.
To TikTok. what happens to, I'm just going to have to start looking at
400 feet.
TikTok.
Turn right on
Okay,
Bedford Avenue.
stuff like that.
Then turn right.
We should have been on TikTok today without Dan.
Yeah,
right,
exactly. So TikTok, you've got all these other ones.
Snapchat.
Yeah, Getter.
There's so many, and you know what? For everyone we know now, there'll be another 10 next
And you know who's still the boss? Facebook and Twitter. And
Are you going to LaGuardia, yeah?
Yep, LaGuardia, United Airlines.
Terminal B, you said?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Rango. I mean, the Django was just amazing, right? All the way back. But there's only one Jimi Hendrix. And that's because Jimi Hendrix got these sounds without using pedals, without using all this. He actually used to turn into the amplifier and use the distortion that came to make his sound. He's unbelievable. He's unparalleled. He will always be the world's most amazing guitar player, Jimi Hendrix. WABC, listen, a Rhode Island State Democrat is drawing scrutiny for proposing, guess what's being proposed in Rhode Island? This is from Senator Samuel Bell. Every unvaccinated Rhode Island resident 16 years or older would have to pay a monthly civil penalty of $50, and whatever their personal income tax was, they'd have to pay twice the amount for being unvaccinated. That is what this guy, this liberal in Rhode Island. Now, just to show you, liberals here, there, everywhere. You know, to be this way, here, there, everywhere. Liberals here, there, and everywhere, same kind of feeling. In Washington, D.C. area, the Mark Ehrlich, county executive of Montgomery County, Maryland. Now, anybody that knows anything about Maryland politics knows Montgomery County is like liberalism and progressivism on steroids. On steroids, and I mean it. I've been there. I've been in dealing with some of these people in Montgomery County. These are like liberals on hyper. These liberals could be California liberals if they didn't live in Maryland. In some cases, they may even be more liberal and progressive than California liberals, not Montgomery County liberals. Anyway. In Maryland, if you don't pay, we'll shut down these schools. Don't deal with that. Now, on the 12 o'clock show, if you want to look at the computer thing, we broke down the French election. Macron won over Le Pen, and the liberals are happy because they saved evil right-wingers once again. And now, Joe Biden's chief of staff, Mr. Klain, is saying that what that election proves in Europe is that Joe Biden can win again. Because if anybody has poll numbers as stinky as Emmanuel Macron's poll numbers were and can win, that means Joe Biden we are not a flinch. Exactly right. Okay.
In 1,000 feet, keep left.
Wall Street analyst, speaking of social media, says Facebook is going to be as challenged in the future because TikTok is eating up their audience. We shall see. Joy Reid. Many of you that know and have seen Joy Reid, what can we say about her? ABW. Angry black woman. ABW. Angry all the time. And she makes some of the most outrageous racist comments. What did I just hear this guy say that there's a black woman making racist comments? Yeah, that's what Jack said. She's a racist. She made some of the most vile racist comments I've ever heard in my life. And so the other day, DeSantis had some kids at one of his events, some black kids, and they had on like anti-CRT, anti-critical race theory signs. That's what they were holding. So she got mad. She says that this is child abuse. There ought to be because these black kids think differently. They must be suffering from they must be abused. And she wanted an investigation. Because these kids, these black kids, dare think differently than she and her communist progressive buddies think. So the governor's office down there has issued a response to it. She said the misuse of black boys is tantamount to child abuse. I would really like to hear the backstory on who these kids were and how they wound up at a DeSantis. But I'd like to hear the story of how Democrats keep getting people to show up for them decade after decade. And now another one on MSNBC, which is becoming, in my view, a racist network, has gone after Herschel Walker. He said, this is another black guy, says that Herschel Walker is shucking and jiving for his white handlers. Now that is clearly, if some Republican said that about a Democrat, you would never hear the end of it. But it's racist, it's against the black conservatives, so, you know what, doesn't matter. In New York, our so-called Attorney General, Letitia, who doesn't have enough real criminals to go after, has successfully asked the judge to hold former President Trump in contempt of court for failing to turn over records being sought as part of her civil probe, her persecution of the Trump family. And she announced even when she was running for office that she was going to persecute Trump. So this is not a prosecution, this is a persecution. It has been. The judge has said, yeah, he's going to fine Donald Trump $10,000 for each day he's failed to turn over records. You would think that they have no records. The Trump organization has already turned over 6 million pages. 6 million pages to Letitia James. And yet, I guess they're still looking for some kind of smoking gun that they don't have in this persecution. And with all the crime going on in New York, you know what, Letitia? You're so busy. Do you think you might spare a minute or two and look into these big mansions that BLM is buying with their supporters' money? Do you have time to do that, Letitia James? No, didn't think so. Okay, telephone call. Then we've got to go to a quick break. Let's go to John in Highland Park, New Jersey. Hello, John. Hi there, Bo. Loving you all the time here in Highland Park, New Jersey. You ran, what a treat. I get to catch a 12 noon thing, but you sneak up on us with those things. Like when you went to 7 a.m. on a Saturday, man, I was mad. I missed like 2 hours of consecutive weeks of you. But anyway, the sound of, in TikTok, what's going on, I mean, in Twitter, we're wondering, what does it sound like if you were above it on the wall? If you would imagine 10,000 rats jumping on the
Jonathan.
How would that go? Can you imagine them just like they're crazy?
Yeah.
Avila, what's going on? How you doing?
Okay, thank you.
Everything good?
Good.
Yeah, listen, I got some more money for you for like 2 more months. You wanna pick it up tomorrow?
Yeah, okay. Tomorrow morning, what time? In the morning?
I go to work like around 11. We can meet up like by 11, like 10:30, 11ish.
Yeah, okay. If I won't be there, you leave it in the mailbox downstairs.
What happened? Okay, I got you. No problem.
Okay, all right. Be in touch.
Okay.
Another
Thank
month.
you.
Another month. Take care.
No problem.
when you were here. Okay. Like you have something in the back. Have a good flight. Be safe.
Thank you.
Take care. Yep.
שמתי את הדברים בשקית כחולה בסטורל. כן. עכשיו אני פחד שהטלוויזיה תישבר, אז אולי צריך להוציא אותה משם.
למה שהיא תישבר?
לא יודע, כל הדברים בנעב.
לא, אם לא נגעים בה, לא תישבר. מה, איזה טלוויזיה? קנית טלוויזיה?
לא, מה שהבאת.
השארת את זה בסטורג'?
כן, בסטורג'.
כן.
איך קוראים לו זה?
אתה לא צריך את זה, תחזיר את זה לרחל.
הוא ראה אותי מישהו, חבר לחשמל, הוא אומר לי עוד פעם, חבר לחשמל, אני בעייף.
כן? מאיזה בחינה? נתאים את הטלפון?
כן.
מה יש להם? מה עושים את זה? אז מה אחד חבר לחשמל? איך חבר במקום ציבורי, אני יודע.
כן.
רצית להטעים את הטלפון?
כן, את הטלפון ולקצות את המוניטור שקניתי.
לא עובד?
לא.
לא עובד?
לא.
מאיפה קנית את זה?
הפרימה.
מהרחוב?
הפרימה, כן. צריך להחזיר לו את זה,
כמה עלה לך?
$10.
תזרוק את זה ברחוב. תשתמש במה שהבאתי לך.
לא, זה גדול מדי, איפה אני אעשה אותו? אבל זה לא מרשים לי להגיד דברים.
איפה, במלון?
כן.
איך, תקנה בספייר מהאינטרנט. משהו קצר רגל.
זה כלומר, יקרים המסכים האלה, $250.
דוק באיבי, משהו שומש.
איך קוראים לו?
טוב, נדבר, אני אחזיק כמה טלפונים מהצעות.
זה טלפון מאוד קטן.
Proud to celebrate 100 years from October 1st, 1921 to music radio and talk radio's crown jewel worldwide and beyond. On WLIR-FM, Hampton Bay.
Around the world to around the clock. This is the WABC 77-second news update. 57 degrees cloudy, 5 o'clock, 77 WABC time check. Sponsored by Burble Watchers. Good afternoon, I'm Donald Brown. Top 5 at 5. Elon Musk strikes a $44 billion deal to buy Twitter. Musk says he wants to buy Twitter because he thinks it's not living up to its potential as a platform for free speech. U.S. promising to send $300 million more to Ukraine. Meantime, Biden nominating Bridget Brink to serve as U.S. ambassador to Ukraine. FBI director says violence directed at police officers unlike anything he's seen before. Subway assaults jumped by over 50%, the highest in 11 months.
And we're not talking about pot and brownies here. In New York, Wayne giving pizzerias and other eateries okay to sell marijuana-infused food. Cats at 9 up next on 77 WABC. Mets, the Cardinals, the Celtics, and Nets here in Brooklyn. Forecast from the Ramsey Mazda Weather Center tonight, cloudy, lows in the low 50s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Chance of showers, highs in the mid to upper 60s. Right now, cloudy outside the Midtown Manhattan studios at 4:02. 77 WABC time check, sponsored by Volvo Watches. Discover finely crafted timepieces available at Macy's. I'm Bob Brown, traffic and transit next. Remember, the news never stops at WABCRadio.com.
WABC Traffic and Transit.
GWB inbound upper okay, lower okay. Outbound we have heavy delays as expected. Lincoln inbound 5 to 10 minute delays. Outbound 10 to 15. Holland inbound okay from the Turnpike. 5 to 10 from Route 1 and 9. Outbound 15 to 20 minute delays. Checking the transit boards right now. Southbound D trains running at a slower speed between Bay 50th and Coney Island to Stillwell Avenue. Crews addressing a signal problem there. Alternate side parking rules are in effect for today, and I'm Bob Brown with your 77 WABC Traffic and Transit Update.
He's involved in a number of businesses.
He's a great role model. Telling it like it is. Giving you both sides of the story. This is Cats at Night.
Great American, a great New Yorker.
Now, here's John Katsimatidis.
This is John Katsimatidis. This is Cats at Night, and this is the #1 show at 5 o'clock, and we have a great show for you again today, and this is a TriCast. We're broadcasting
Time to pick up the lion.
Radio Studios, 770 on your dial, WABCRadio.com. Also, W970 AM The Answer, and WLIR. And in the studio with us is a common sense Democrat, Judge Richard Weinberg. We have Chief.
How are
Tony
you, John?
Scarpinetti. How are you, Tony?
All good.
And Congressman Peter King. And
יש אנשים פחות בריאים, אבל לגבי איפה המכוער יומיומי ניתוח אפידורלי, ואת לא תרגישי שום דבר. לא ממש שמחתי מהרעיון, אבל הוא הפחיד אותי. הוא אמר לי, את לא צעירה, את מעשנת, מסוכן מאוד בשבילך להיכנס לניתוח עם הרדמה מלאה. אז בסוף הסכמתי, ובאמת זה התחיל כניתוח אפידורלי, אבל קרה משהו בזמן הניתוח והם היו חייבים להרדים אותי. הוא ארפי מסכן איזה צעקות שמתי עליו, חבל לכם על הזמן מה היה בחדר לידה. אבא שלי תמיד אמר שביום שהוא יהווה נטל הוא מעדיף למות, נכון? ואכן איך שהוא הפך לנטל, לצערי הוא נפטר. כן, אני גם תמיד אומרת, מיכל, שאני מקווה שהקדוש ברוך הוא לא ייתן לי להיות נטל על הילדים שלי. אם אני צריכה להזדקן, אם אתם מתכוונים להזדקן בכבוד, זה להזדקן בבריאות. אבל לא מכוערת יפה, זה שטויות. זקנה, כשמזדקנים אין מה לעשות, נראים זקנים.
Speed camera reported ahead.
אני עכשיו עושה נגיד בוטוקס במצח וחולצה אירונית בשפתיים. באיזשהו שלב שאני אגיע לגיל 60 אני מאמינה, או 60 פלוס, אני אקבל את הזקנה בידיים. אין מה לעשות, מזדקנים, מה לעשות, ואני אפסיק לעשות את זה. אצלנו בעיה הכי קטנה, ישר ממליצים קיסרי. כי זה עולה יותר, אז הרופאים שולחים מהר לקיסרי. אז זהו, פה לא ישר אומרים קיסרי, אלא אם כן זה מסוכן חיים. אמא שלי קיבלה עזרה כניצולת שואה, אז אולי תעזרי לתמר, אורלי, כפרה עלייך, תנסי לעזור לאורלי. אם אמא שלה ניצולת שואה וקשה לה והיא צריכה לטפל בה בבית, אולי היא יכולה לקבל עזרה. תמר, את נמצאת עוד כאן? תמר רוש. ברגע שהעברנו אותה למוסד סיעודי, היא נפטרה למרות שהעברנו אותה למוסד יקר. רבקה בניצת הדובדבן יש כל שנה, כל השנה, הבן שלי גם ציליאקי. אוקיי. אני חושבת שעוד היה ציליאקית כי היא כבר חודשיים נקטה את הגלוטן, וכל הבעיות שהיו לה לפני כן נעלמו. יש לה עוד 10 ימים תור לרופא לבדוק אם היא ציליאקית. לדעתי תצא חיובית, כאילו ציליאקית. באמת קשה לזרוק את כל מאגרי השוקולד. אל תזרקו את השוקולד. תפנו לשטראוס ותקבלו, או שתקבלו זיכוי, או שיפצו אתכם על זה. למה לזרוק? מה? אני היום אמרתי להם, לא לזרוק, למה לזרוק? היא קנתה במלא כסף, היא קנתה מלא שוקולדים. זה הכסף שלי, הלגי. היא אומרת לי לזרוק. אמרתי לה, לא לזרוק. למה לזרוק? ככה זה שכותבים את הכסף על העצים. תגידי לה שרק אחרי 4 חיסונים עזבי, את מדברת עכשיו על החיסונים של הקורונה. תקשיבי, מיכל מותק, אחותי חולה, נדבקה עכשיו בקורונה, והיא עשתה את כל החיסונים, רק שתדעי. חרת החיסונים. לא נכון, ביטוח ממשלתי. מה פתאום? בארצות הברית אין לכם ביטוח ממשלתי, אורלי. בארצות הברית זה ביטוח רפואי פרטי אתם עושים, לא כמו בכל העולם. אני חושבת שארצות הברית זה המדינה היבשת היחידה בעולם, המעצמה היחידה בעולם שאתם משלמים לא קופת חולים. אתם משלמים ביטוח פרטי, הרפואי שלכם זה פרטי, לא איפה חטבה. אכלנו שוקולד בפסח, אבל לא של אלית. מקווה שנשאר. כן. בשביל הברכות שלי, כל האורחים חלו בסלמונלה מכבד קצוץ. וואו. יו, איזה בסטה. ועכשיו בטח מהחתונה הם זוכרים את זה, חטבה? וואו. איזה בסטה. שימו לב שכל רגע מוסיפים מוצרים נוספים לריקול. מקודם הוסיפו עוד מוצרים כגון מגוון סוגי גלידות. כן, ראיתי מוקדם יותר גם היה מילקי עם סוכריות עדשים או משהו כזה. בקיצור, צריך להיזהר, תיזהרו בנות. תשימו לב למה סלמונלה זה ממש לא סימפטי. סלמונלה עושה שלשולים, התכווצויות של הקיבה, חבל לכם על הזמן, זה כאבי תופת, יכול לגרום לתסמינים של חום, ואפילו עד מצב שצריך להגיע לבית חולים בשביל לעשות שטיפה של הקיבה, קבלת נוזלים. תשימו לב טוב. מביאים סדינים או רוצים שתרגישי כמו בבית. כן, תמר, חבל לך על הזמן. אז כן, בעלי כמה טרטרתי אותו עם כל הדברים האלה. חכו רגע, ובבית חולים שהייתי גם לא היה מזגן, תבינו, ילדתי בספטמבר, וספטמבר זה עוד גבולי, חבל לכם על הזמן. אז בעלי הביא את המאוורר, אמרתי לו תביא לי מאוורר, למה אני הורגת פה את כולם מהחום. היה כדאי לך להגיע לארץ. לא, איך אני אגיע לארץ, מלכה? חודש 9 אפשר לטוס. נכון, אני גרתי באמריקה, שילמתי ביטוח יקר, הוציאו לי צ'יסטה מהחזה עם טשטוש, שילמתי $1,000, השתתפות, קיבלתי פירוט חיובים על כפפות, סדינים, מזרקים ועוד. כן, שמה זה ביטוח פרטי, אני יודעת, זה מה שאמרתי לאורלי. עד שאת קוראת את ההודעות, היא גדלה בעוד שנה. מה לעשות? עד שאת קוראת. להזדקן בכבוד, לא. מבחינת המראה, מבחינת היחס, אל תשליחני לעת זקנה. נכון, כל הכבוד, תמר, כל הכבוד. זה נקרא כיבוד הורים. כיבוד הורים זה הזמן, דווקא בזמן הזקנה שלהם. בפרט היום. זקנה מכוערת, זה לא חיור, מחלות וסבל. כן, אבל לא כולם. 60 זה עדיין גיל צעיר ריקוש. כן, לא, אני לא אמרתי שזה זקן, אבל אמרתי כנראה שבגיל 60, אני מאמינה שאני אהיה בת 60, אני כבר לא מאמינה שאני אמשיך לעשות את הבוטוקס ואת השפתיים. באיזשהו שלב, אורלי, אני מדברת על עצמי, אני יודעת שיש נשים שבגיל 60 גם עושות את זה. למשל, אני מסתכלת על פנינה רוזנבלום, אני בטוחה שהיא עושה. פנינה רוזנבלום בת כמה היא? בת 70. היא נראית כמו בת 50. באיזשהו שלב אני חושבת שאני ארגיש פתטי לעשות את זה. לא יודעת, ואני מאמינה שזה יהיה מעל גיל 60. ערב טוב חטפוש, מה העניינים? 45-50, איזה שטויות.
מה קורה? Yeah. Oh, sure. I have like, why you finished early today? Oh, you going home? Okay, see you in the house.
I mean, update me where you are.
Oh, I'm on the 59th Street Bridge on the way to pick up.
No, later when you pick up Aya, so
Oh.
text me, then we're gonna check each other, okay?
Oh, text you to what number? You tell me to what number, okay?
Okay.
To your regular number? Okay.
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 See you soon.
Later.
כמו בת 4 זה נרשם שסיפרת על הבת שלך ששאלה אם חלתה בסלמונלה אם היא מוגנת. לפנות לחברת כוח אדם למבוגרים במקביל לביטוח לאומי, הם קובעים את הניקוד ונותנים שעות במקרה שצריך עובד זר, הקרן של השואה עוזרים, נותנים 9 שעות שבועיות בביטוח לאומי והשאר אנחנו. תקשיבי, ראית מה כתבה לך כאן תמר? לפנות לחברת כוח אדם למבוגרים במקביל לביטוח לאומי, הם קובעים את הניקוד ונותנים שעות. במקרה שצריך עובד זר, זה הקרן של השואה עוזרים ונותנים 9 שעות שבועיות בביטוח לאומי והיתר אנחנו. עד היום זוכרים את זה, מזל שלא אכלתי את הכבד, וואו. הרבה השתשפזו כי הגיעו להתייבשות. כן, זה בדיוק הקטע שאני אומרת, סלמונלה אפשר להגיע לבית חולים כי אתם מתייבשים, צריכים לקבל אינפוזיה. תמר, את יכולה לקבל עובדת זרה קצת ניירת לפי מה שכתבתי. ככה טיפולים הרפואיים חינם למעוטי יכולת בניו יורק. השאלה איך זה טיפול טוב, לא טיפול טוב. עירית סימון, לילה טוב. עירית, תקשיבי. היא חייבת לציין שכל הכבוד לך ולמי עוד ולציפי.
כן. כן.
היה פקק ענקי ליד הסטורס, אבל זה לא השנייה, 21.
לא הבנתי, מה קרה?
פקק.
פקק?
21 על תרעש.
איזה פקק? אני לא מבין.
פקק תנועה.
נו, כל הזמן יש שם פקקים.
אבל תנועה עוצרת, לא עומדת.
אולי קרה משהו. אוקיי, נדבר, אני קו השני נדבר. אוקיי.
They said that this is one of the famous, and I can attest to that because every morning there's a long line. Everybody's waiting for to get inside. All right. So we're gonna do some research about that and learn some more. All right. And this is also one of my favorite building over here. This is very nice, right? Also, this is also nice. So this is, I think this is one of the busiest street here. So how's everybody? Hi, Alfred. You're looking well. Oh, thank you so much, Alfred.
ניגוד, אמרתי, כשאני אגיע לגיל 60, אז אני ארגיש שאני כבר לא בגיל של לעשות אולי את הבוטוקס ואת החומצה ההילרונית. זה אומר די, נו, תחבקו את הגיל שלכם. מה? 60 זה הגיל השלישי, מה זה לא סקנה? כשאני אהיה בת 60, אני כבר התחלתי את הזקנה. אין מה לעשות, 60 זה... תקשיבו, אני רוצה להגיד לכם, 50 זה לא 40, נקודה. אני כבר מרגישה מבוגרת, אין מה לעשות, כאילו, כמה שאני מנסה לשמר את עצמי, בכל זאת אני בת 51. אז יופי, אז אני עושה ספורט, ואני עושה חומצה הילרונית, ואני עושה בוטוקס, אבל הגוף משתנה. אין מה לעשות, הגוף מתבגר, למה אתם כועסות? על מה אתם כועסות? הגוף שלנו מתבגר, אין מה לעשות, זה חלק מהחיים. 60 זה לא 50, את צודקת, זה כמו ש50 זה לא 40. אז אני מאמינה שבגיל 60 הראש שלי יעבוד אחרת. אני אומרת על עצמי, לא יודעת אם אני אמשיך לעשות את זה. אני ארגיש אולי את עצמי פתטית שאני עושה את זה. אני אומרת לכם מה אני מרגישה. כל אחד שתעשה מה שהיא מרגישה. אני כל הזמן אומרת שלום כי אני מכבדת, ואני יודעת, נשמה שלי, מה זה, תכף, שנייה, אני אעלה אותך למצלמה. אם אני מעלה אותך למצלמה, אני לא רואה אחרי זה את התגובות. אני תמיד אומרת שלום באופן אישי לכל אחת ואחד, ותמיד עונה לי שאלות ואומרת תודה, ככה חינכו אותי. כן, זה יפה מאוד, נירית, זה כל כך מכבד. גם דניאל אמר שלום, גם חדווה, מי עוד, גם ציפי. לא, טריקי, מישהי כתבה אתם צעירות. 60 זה לא 50, נכון? בגלל זה הכנתי לשתי מטפלות. בת 29. 60 זה לא פיקניק, אני צודקת, הגזם, בסך הכל 51, מה זה מבוגרת? מבוגרת, 51 זה לא צעירה, מה? 51 זה לא...
I have Blacks is live, so I'm gonna switch to I have Blacks. Switch to I have Blacks.